Okay, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let's go over a couple ways to solve some of these problems, see if we can help you out. Now, in this particular case, we have two equations, two unknowns. Well, the easiest way to deal with two equations, two unknowns is either to stack them up and do elimination or do substitution. Now, in this particular case, substitution seems reasonable because I got y and I got y. So let's take this y out and let's put all of this in for y. So I have x minus 2 equals 3 times square root of 1 minus x over 2. Now everything is in terms of x's, and once everything's in terms of x's, it's not a big deal. But I have this square root. How do I get rid of a square root? Well, square both sides. Of course, here I get 9 times. Now, because all this stuff is inside a square root, it's still in parentheses. But at least there's no more square root on it. And over here, you must FOIL it out, x minus 2. X minus 2. Folks, this is basic algebra stuff. Shouldn't even have to discuss this, but just in case. At this point, it's time to get x by itself. So let's multiply everything by 2. So I got 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 equals 9 minus 9x. Now, how did I do that? Well, I said times 2 times 2. Okay. Gone, etc. Give the 9 away. Now, with that, move everything over. I got 2x squared, and I get plus 1x, and I get minus 1 equals 0, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, minus 9 plus 9x. Okay, I think I'm good. Now, if at all possible, I'm going to try to do this. 2x, 1x, 1, 1. Now I need a plus 1, so I need plus here, minus here. Hey, that all looks good. Great. If that's the case, now all I have to do is set each piece equal to 0 and say 2x equals 1, x equals 1 over 2, and there you go, 1/2. Over here, x equals negative 1. There you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what if x equals, say, sine of theta? Well, if x equals sine of theta, everywhere I see x, I put sine of theta. So where does sine of theta equal 1/2? Where does sine of theta equal negative 1? And at this point, I'm going to draw a triangle for each one of these and say, oh, I don't know, 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, sine negative 1, opposite negative, so it's here. And I'm going to give angles so that in the end, I have theta equals blah, comma, blah, comma, blah. All right, there you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to help you solve one of the two worksheets today. Let's do another one very quickly. Again, two equations, two unknowns. X and Y, Can't solve it this way, but wait a minute, what can I do? Oh, y equals that. So let's put it in here. So I got 4x equals 2xz. And you're like, well, wait a minute, that's still not very helpful because I still have two variables. Well, since I can't get x by itself, because if I try dividing both sides by x, that gets rid of a solution. You cannot do this. So what do we do if we have x's on both sides, but we still can't get it by itself? Move this over here. 2xz minus 4x. At this point, what is common to both pieces? One piece here, one piece here. Clearly it is an x. So let's take that x out front. 0 equals 2 z minus 4, and out front I've taken the x. What's nice about that is as long as it's equal to 0, I can say x equals 0, and I can say 2z minus 4 equals 0. At this point, I can say, oh, well, x equals 0, yay. Z equals 2, if I'm not mistaken, because I plus 4, divide by 2. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, now, what if x equals cosine theta, but z equals, I don't know, secant theta? There you go. In this case, you could replace, say, oh, where does cosine theta equal 0? Where does secant theta equal 2? draw the picture, blah, 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 blah. Theta equals blank, comma, blank, comma, blank, comma, blank, comma, blank, up to 4 different things. Now, it may only be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, who knows, but you can fill it out. Now, what if, by the way, sine didn't equal secant theta? What if z equaled sine theta? Well, then I would have sine theta equals 2, and that can't be done, so there would be no solution for that piece. So make sure you understand that these are the 2 basic ways you're going to solve your problems for today. Guys, this is Algebra 1, this is Algebra 2. If you are in pre-calculus, you are expected to know it. So all we're doing is adding trig properties to it. All right.